and Environmental Protection Committee, Standing Committee Report number 214-12. Representative Thielen.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm rising to speak against the measure.
Please proceed in opposition.
Thank you. Mr. Speaker, House Bill 425 relating to public utilities would require the Public Utilities Commission to consider the costs and benefits of a diverse fossil fuel portfolio. And I want to stress that, a diverse fossil fuel portfolio. I think that it really is a major step backward. On page 1 in the purpose clause, page 1 of the bill, it states, unless there are major technological breakthroughs, it is anticipated that in 2030, 60% of electricity generation will come from fossil fuels. That's an incredibly pessimistic approach. It is not the one that the former administration had, but it seems to be now one that this present administration has, that in 2030 we'll still be locked into dependency on polluting fossil fuel. This ignores the vast resources that we have on the Big Island with geothermal, and it ignores the recently released report from the United States Department of Energy stressing the vast potential for energy from in our oceans. And they had, in fact, in that report, which is available online, they have indicated that Oahu itself could obtain 3 times the amount of power needed to power our island from tapping into the renewable energy sources of the ocean. Those types of wave energy projects are going forward in Europe, Australia, and I believe even China now is stepping forward. So I look at this as being such a pessimistic approach, and that's why I'm digging my heels in. If we really believe in our renewable energy, if we really believe that the green jobs we will create are going to help our economy, are going to provide good paying jobs for our young people, then we will not pass a measure with a pessimistic approach saying, we give up. In 2030, we're going to still be 60% dependent upon polluting fossil fuel. I know there's a catch-all or a so-called savings clause that says nothing in this section shall subvert the obligation of electric utilities to meet the renewable portfolio standards. But that's just SOP, S-O-P, SOP thrown out. Because what it does say above that, it says Public Utilities Commission shall consider the costs and benefits of a diverse fossil fuel portfolio. So here we are saying to PUC, go spend your time, go spend your resources on fossil fuel, a diverse portfolio. What that actually means too is that we shall reach out to liquefied synthetic gas. Life of the Land said that that means the PUC will spend its resources and time on this fossil fuel-based power generation rather than working on the dockets that are truly going to put us forward in a renewable energy future. When you look at the pollution from these fossil fuel-based energy sources, you wonder why on earth is Hawaii still standing knee-high in oil muck. It doesn't make sense. This is imported to our island. It's not making us be energy self-sufficient. When you talk about being energy independent, that really is our island security. If we're still dependent on some shippers going ahead and bringing us those fossil fuel barrels, and if we're still depending upon sending $7 billion a year out of state for that purpose, what are we doing as policymakers? Why aren't we instead shelving or tabling this bill and saying, we don't want to go that way. PUC has adequate authority to do what it needs to under dockets that are presented to it. But for us to say we're elevating fossil fuel generation and the diverse sources of that, whether it's coal, oil, or the
Representative
liquefied
Fontaine.
gas,
Speaker, I yield my time.
Thank you very much. Please
or the
proceed.
liquefied gas, we're saying to PUC, we're elevating that above having you go ahead with the dockets that are truly renewable based. And we're continuing our insecurity for our islands. I am very astounded that the fifth floor is taking this approach. And frankly, I'm disappointed, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Representative, okay, do we have any further discussion on this measure? Representative Takai.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise in opposition, and I'd like the words of the previous speaker to be entered into the journal as if they were my own.
So
Thank you.
ordered. Representative Ching.
Same request, please.
So ordered. Representative Pine.
Same request.
So